What's good, everybody? I'm Justin Miller, owner and host of the Legends of Athletics podcast, and we're back with another fresh episode. For you that are watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching. Please don't forget to comment and subscribe, like, and please share this with somebody. For those of you that are listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure that you like, subscribe, and rate this podcast. It helps us to move up in the rankings of podcasts, which helps us to spread the word and more people get a chance to listen to me yap and ramble, as the kids say today. And so if you're watching this on YouTube, you probably see me with the shades on. And so you like, why does Coach Miller have shades on? Well, I'm going through my shades phase, I believe. And so right now, man, I just like shades. It's just my thing. When I get a new pair of shades, I like to wear them for like the majority of the day. They give me like this little cool little like, you know how well right now in today's time, people are kind of going through where they're wearing the mask, the ski mask and things like that. Well, shades give me the same effect. It just makes me feel cooler. Like I'm like, ah, man, I got my shades on. Ain't nobody looking at me. I'm kind of like Batman or something like that. But that's just my fun joy. So if you see this, that's why I got the shades on. Now, if you see me any other time, you see me at an event, a camp, anything like that, come holler at me. But just know I probably won't have them on. They'll probably be on the back of my head, wrapped around my ears, and they serve no purpose at that point except to look cool. So that's why I got the shades on. So I got these shades not too long ago, and man, I like them. So it's just something that I like to do. But anyway, so getting to the point of whether you listen to this at morning, afternoon, and night, make sure that we do the housekeeping. So the housekeeping is kind of what I alluded to earlier. Make sure you share this with somebody. Make sure that you spread the word of what we're doing over here at Legends of Athletics. It's bigger than Mississippi. That's where I'm from, but it's bigger than Mississippi, and so we want as many people to hear and grasp the concept of what we're doing as possible, because we're in the business of helping each other. Each one teach one, help somebody to help somebody. So we got all that knocked out and out the way. If you want to follow us on any social media, follow Legends of Athletics, and we will be happy to follow, to see you follow whatever. And if you don't have any social media and you just want to tell us how we're doing, good, bad, and different, type in Legends of Athletics 19 at gmail.com. Again, that's Legends of Athletics 19 at gmail.com. So to get into the meat and the substance of this podcast for the night, I want to talk to you guys about this, right? So earlier in the season, in football season, Oregon played Colorado, and this game was so hype. This game was hype, and so everybody was looking forward to seeing. This was a good measuring rod game. It was to see how far Colorado had come from last year. Would they be able to compete? What pieces were they missing? For Oregon, it was one of those games where they were on top at that time. Like I'm talking about, like I think they're still top 10 at this point, but they were like a top 4 team, potential top 4 team. And at that time, they felt like coming into this game, they weren't getting the hype and buzz because everyone was talking about Colorado and what they were doing and what Coach Prime was doing and how the kids were the swagger and things like that. And so before the game, the cameras go into each locker room and they kind of captivate what the coaches are saying. And so this gets you ready. This gets you in the mode of what kind of game is going to be. It's going to be a physical game. It's going to be a finesse game. It's going to be a skillful game. It gets you into that mode, right? And so as they go into the locker room, you can see Coach Prime. He gives his pregame speech, a little snippet of that. And then they go into the Oregon locker room, and Coach Lanning is giving his speech. And he said, guys, we're going out there not for clicks, not for flash, not for likes, but for substance, rooted in substance and not in flash. What's the Kodak moment, the flash moment that took over the whole speech? It's almost like when you listen to Theodore. I'm going to go way back for some of y'all, but Theodore Roosevelt and his speech about being in the arena. It was almost one of those speeches. It almost gave you that feel. And so with that, when I heard it, of course, Oregon ran away with that game, but that phrase really stuck out to me, and it's something that I've taken on as a mantra, part of what we're doing here at Legends of Athletics, part of what we're pursuing here at Legends of Athletics for the year. And so when I heard that, I was like, man, that is so powerful, because I always try to pick up on things to not only inspire me, but things that I can take and I can not only use for my athletes, but I can use for the podcast and so on and so forth. And so it really spoke volumes to me. And at the beginning of this year, I remember I put up, and I think I still have this pinned on my TikTok. It was one of the first TikToks, whatever, that I made on my page, and it was earlier this year, and I just said I wanted to execute. The word for me this year is execution. To to plan something, go follow through with the plan and execute that plan to perfection, and not just give up on a plan, not give it one shot and then say it's not working, but to really stick to that plan to a point of executing it at a high level to where it's mastery, not just executing it to where it's good enough to pass through, executing it to where I can say, oh, that's okay, but executing this thing to a point to where we're going to mastery level, and we're creating a new bar that has been set in the world of sports performance in Mississippi. And so when I heard that phrase, it really inspired me to want to do a podcast on this, first of all, but also inspired me to look at what we do as far as Legends of Athletics with our athletes. And so for me, I've always prided myself on being one of those people. Like, I'm not the trainer that's gonna get on there right now. I'm not the guy that you're gonna get on his social media and you're gonna see 2,000 likes. You're not gonna see 100 likes. You're not gonna see millions of followers. You're not going to see a lot of that stuff. But what you are going to see is consistency. What you are going to see is somebody committed to excellence. What you are going to see is people who are getting results. And what you are going to see is somebody who's not selling snake oil. There's a lot of people out here outside of training, in jobs, things like that sell snake oil. And this is what I want you to really question and ask yourself. Is what I'm doing invoking change? Is what I'm doing real? And what is my motivation for doing it? Nick Saban asks his players two questions whenever they come to the University of Alabama. What do you want to do and how are you going to do it? That's basically the two questions in life that'll help us to be our best selves. It'll help us to be so much better than what we are currently. So in a world of sports training, I want to give you guys a little story, right? And I'm getting excited. It's been a long day. I'm telling y'all, man, I'm doing this podcast. This is basically at the end of work day, but I'm getting excited. I'm giving myself some energy right now. So in all seriousness though, this is one of the things, like I'm in an area of sports performance, right? So in sports performance, what I do is I'm basically coaching kids, to be faster, to be more agile, to be stronger, but also to go beyond who they currently feel that they are and to believe in themselves, right? And so with that, in the industry that I'm in naturally, you deal with a couple of things, a couple of obstacles, right? So I deal with people who feel like they can train anybody because they played the sport. And then I deal with people who played the sport at whatever level, whether that be D1, D2, D3, NAIA, JUCO, that feel like because they played it, they know exactly everything about it. And in some cases, experience is the best teacher. In other cases, you need the experience and you need the knowledge. And so, with that, in my space, for anybody that doesn't know, I did not play Division 1 football, Division 2 football, Division 3 football. I didn't even play NAIA, and I did not go to JUCO to play ball. And so, a lot of my knowledge comes from practicality. It comes from the experience I had when I was an athlete, and then it comes from just teaching and gaining experience through teaching. And so, with that, I say all that to say this, right? Some of y'all out there right now probably are in industries where you feel like, man, I just don't feel like I can make any headspace because I don't have the accolades. I don't have the wherewithal to say, well, I did this and so I done it. Look at me, and that's gonna garner me the attention, and that's gonna garner me the affection of the people. That's probably what you're feeling. I know what you're feeling. Hey, I've been there, done that. That's why I'm giving you this. That's why I'm giving you game right now. That's why I'm giving you game right now. And so you've probably asking yourself, well, Justin, I want to get Coach Miller, Justin, whatever you feel like saying. I want to get into sports management. I want to get into sports marketing. I want to work for Nike. I want to work for Adidas. I want to work for any of these companies. I want to be a sports performance coach. I want to be a coach. I want to do all this thing. So in the world of coaching, we already know a lot of people get hired off nepotism, things like that. Just who you know, about what you know, all that stuff. But the other part of that, right? And this is the beauty of anything that you're pursuing. What you don't know, you gotta be better at. This is what I'm saying. You got to become obsessed with being the best. And I'm not saying being the best so that you can say, well, you know, I'm better than this person. Look at me, beat your chest, all that. I'm saying you got to be the best because that's the only way you're going to prove your worth in a field that you are not looked at as what they would call the prototype. That's what you got to do. That's the very basis of everything that I'm saying. Rooted in substance, because you're not going to get the flash. You're not going to get the likes right off. You're not going to have the following right off. But I promise you this, if you stay consistent, you fall so in love with the work, with the hard work, that it don't even seem like work. When you do that, I'm telling you, the fruit, if you really rooted in it now, you really done studied, you really have put forth the best. I'm talking about your absolute best consistently, then everything gonna work out for you, for real. I know I'm doing a lot of screaming and hollering on this episode because I done got excited from somewhere, because I'm gonna be real with y'all. Before the camera came on, before the mic was hooked up, I was not there. I was actually halfway asleep. But anyway, in all seriousness, I want you guys to be motivated to go out and do some things that have never been done, that you've never seen done, and be willing to lay it all on the line. That's the essence of courage. If you're not willing to lay it on the line, you're not willing to go broke. You're not willing to have sleepless nights. You're not willing to lose it all. You're not willing to start over. You're not willing to take the failure and not only be a failure, but be a failure in front of your family, your friends, your loved ones, coworkers, and people like that. You are not, and I do mean this, you are not willing to be successful. Because success and failure are the same. They go through the same process, and you're going to learn way more from failing than you will ever learn from success. And the part about success that's really going to get you is this: how you really going to know what you made of, right? Because once you become successful and you reach your goals, you will be faced with another obstacle and another battle, and that battle is called comfort and complacency. Because at that point, do you want to do what it took when you were hungry, or are you gonna go up a level? Are you gonna make yourself supersede where you just got to? That's a real question. That's a real ooh wee. That's where the rubber has met the road. And this is something that I challenge the kids, the athletes that I train with, because you gonna get better. You train with Legends of Athletics, you gonna get better. You will get better. It's coming. But the thing is, when you get better, are you gonna still train hard? Are you still gonna commit to the process? Are you still gonna be excited about learning something new? When the distractions come, will you still show up to train? Are you still committed to training? Or is that just enough? That's a lot of people it's a lot of people in life. A lot of adults walk around just like that every day. They ain't gonna tell y'all, but it's a lot of people walk around like that every day. They say, I've done enough. I'm good enough. And that's fine. Hey, if you got a number in your head, you got a goal in your head that it has made its mark, and you said, man, that's exactly what I want, exactly where I want to be, etc. That's cool. For most people, they won't tell you like, I wanted more. I really wish I could have seen my full potential, but you weren't committed. The first sign of success, the first obstacle, you dipped. You were willing to pay the cost to go from 0 to 100, but then when it came from going to 100 to 1,000, you said, "All right, that's enough." That's what it is. And so, hey, I hope that this episode was one that was great. It's not very long. I try not to make these episodes as long as I used to. I know when I first got this podcasting thing, I used to make episodes about 30 minutes to an hour. Now I'm like, That's where we at though. It's 2023, man. People's attention spans aren't as long, but I try to cater to that and try to give y'all the meat and the essence of what we're talking about without giving you too much fluff. And that's just being real. That's being respectful of your time and your attention. And I appreciate each and every one of you that has taken time out to listen to this podcast, taking the time out to share it, taking the time out to rate, comment, subscribe. And until next time, hey, holla back at your boy. But for real, before y'all leave, one more thing. Go to legendsofathletics.com. Let me know what you think about the website. Purchase something. If you don't see anything that's worth your purchase, we do have free items on there as well. Go and download those things. Be a part of our community. Legendsofathletics.com. We appreciate each and every one of you. You guys are great. And go out there and be successful. Don't let nobody tell you what you can and can't do. If you believe in yourself, that's where it starts. That's the best belief to have. Yourself is going to be number one. After that, everything else is going to fall into place. So I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Until next time, as always, take the road less traveled. Be 1% better every day. That does not equal perfection. That just means consistency. Get 1% better every day. And until next time, be legendary.